All right. Hello. I believe we are live for our financial fitness webinar here in beautiful Iowa this morning. It's a little chilly, but we're going to make the most of it and hopefully have a good time, talk about a few interesting topics today. So, all right. I'm getting the thumbs up from Lisa that we're live and going. So I always appreciate a good thumbs up. It's cool. We're reporting now today from our new digs, our new Prairie Fire studio area. And so it's kind of fun to have all this set up and be able to broadcast from this area, our new offices and all that kind of fun stuff. And so we hope everybody will be able to come visit us real soon. So, all right. So financial fitness, I think you might think when I sent this out, I was confused as to what are you thinking about, Matt? What does finance and fitness have to do with each other? And that's a fair enough question for sure. And so the big idea that I'm really hoping to leave you with today is that when life changes, money moves. So as much as possible, when we can either predict or accommodate changes in our lives, we are then able to take care of the financial side effects of that. So we're going to talk about a few different areas today of categories of financial fitness. And then on each of those areas, I'm going to share an exercise that I think will be helpful for everybody to do in that category, depending on your situation. Of course, everything won't apply to everyone, but it's hopefully to give you a few tips that you can take with you here today. So I did some research on fitness as a whole and why it's so difficult to stick with our goals over the years when it comes to exercise. So at the beginning of each year, we all do this. We have a bunch of resolutions. I'm going to lose weight, gain lean muscle, eat better, do X, Y, or Z. And so the main reasons that they fail is one, they're overcomplicated. Two, there's not enough accountability, someone to back them up. Three, they're boring, so that's never fun. And then, there's a failure to track progress. So I'm hoping that some of the things that we do today can help overcome that a little bit to where it's not boring. I would hate to hear that it was boring, but that we also have some follow through, some accountability, things like that. All right. So financial fitness checkup, here's our disclosure. All right, so when I talk about financial fitness, what do I mean? So like I mentioned, when money moves, when life changes, money moves. And so the better we can prepare ourselves for what may come, the less we're flat-footed, the more ability we have to adjust and to adapt to those changes. Why does it matter? Because there's so many areas of our life that we can plan for. So we know at 65, you're going to be eligible for Medicare. We know from age 72 to 75, we're going to have to start taking money out of our IRAs. We know in our 50s, we're going to start having conversations about being empty nesters and perhaps long-term care and what our future looks like. In our 30s and 40s, we're planning for career changes and things that we know are going to be coming along, like having children. All of these different things come along in our lives, and as much as we can plan for them, as much as we can adapt to those changes without it derailing our financial plan, the more financially fit we can be. All right, so today we're going to examine areas from family to business to work to health, retirement, and our future, all these different areas. So in the top of your display, there should be an arrow, and in that there's a handout, and it should look like this, the 2023 financial checklist. We'll send this out as a follow-up as well, so if you don't have it, no worries, but you should be able to access that in the webinar pane, and that can give you some of the teaser questions and things that we should be asking when it comes to these different areas of financial fitness. All right, we have a really cool tool that we have access to called a Lifeline. And so we're able to adapt to these money changes by plotting them. So for some of you, I bring these into the meetings. For some of you, I don't. I use it as a tool behind the scenes to remind me of things that might be coming up in your life or roadblocks that maybe you weren't aware of. So our mission at Prairie Fire has always been to proactively defend our clients. This is one of the ways that we do that. So we're planning ahead for what may come when it comes to weddings, life changes like work, setting up a giving plan, whatever it may be in your life. We're plotting this on these. So when we do review meetings over the next number of months, I'll spend more time on these to see what we have planned and coming up so that we make sure we got you financially fit. All right, enough of that. Okay, let's start with your family. So, and a lot of times our dynamics in our family changes. In our family this year, big change. November 18th, Connor, my stepson's getting married. So we have a new daughter-in-law to be, new housing dynamics for him. Of course, a little bit of financial assistance in the wedding and all that fun stuff. And so we know the date now. We know that it's going to happen. We can plan for it. But these type of family changes come all the time, and they could be grandchildren, changes in your relationship as far as marriage and divorce, the composition of another part of your family. It could be something that's going on with an elderly parent that you're having to begin to take care of. And so these long-term care things, boy, I've just seen them coming up more and more for all of you. And so as best we can plan for, I know in many cases we can't, but if there's things coming up that we can say, wow, maybe we should put that on the radar to keep talking about, so we can either set money aside, do something on our insurance plan, whatever the case may be. So family is a big one. So my exercise tip for your family is to consider having a family meeting. Now, in the movies, they make jokes out of these. Family meeting, family meeting. There's an emergency. We're gonna, something's going on that we have to address right away. And so the family meeting that I'm imagining is just having a casual conversation with the whole group of things that they want to accomplish in the next number of years, and things that maybe you, if you're the parents, are thinking about for the kids in terms of their future, where you want to be involved, how you can help, where you don't want to help, and you want them to be more independent. Just setting some goals as a family of, we really like to have one great vacation every year, or we would really like to spend more time helping everybody understand where our finances are, where we can help you, and where all of our documents are, all of those kind of things. So we've got some framework for family meetings. If you're interested in learning more about those, just let me know and I'll shoot those over. But they can be a great tool to bring some cohesiveness. Everybody knows where we're going. So again, we're able to not get caught flat-footed when something changes in our family. The next is your goals. And so again, back to the exercise plan, a lot of us set goals. So have any of your goals maybe changed? I know over the last 10 years, my life goals changed dramatically. And so as we move through midlife, get into the second half of life, in many cases, we start thinking about many different things. We've been maybe raising our kids and now they've launched. So now we're more worried about, what does our future look like? I don't want to continue to work at this job that I am today. I want to change my career. I want to start a business. And so, for many folks, the goals that I see really change around travel. And after COVID, I still see and believe that we're having a COVID hangover, that we feel like we really want to get out there and live. And so that could be something that we can plan for. We can put a travel budget into your financial plan. And I do this for folks frequently because it's a huge priority, especially if you're young and feeling well and you want to, do some extra things. This is the time to do it if your health is supporting that. Maybe it's a major renovation on your house, or selling a house and downsizing. And now we've had all these big interest rate changes. How is that going to adjust to your plan? So your goals are yours. It's my job to understand what they are. And so the more that we can talk about those, and the more that we can examine your goals and make sure that we're working towards them in the financial planning part of what we do, the better. All right, so for your exercise for this one is, I'd want you to identify the biggest change that you think you're going to either make or experience in 2023. So that may be, again, something around the house, a vacation, something you want to invest in. Perhaps it is a giving plan that you want to set up. So whatever the biggest change is for you, that's your exercise around your goals. All right, for many of you, you don't have your own business, but if you do, or if you want to, this is a good area to examine as well. So am I making the most of my business? Am I thinking of starting a new business, and can I position that in a way that benefits me on the taxes or the income or the way that we handle our benefits? And so there's always things like side hustles that you can do, and there's ways that we can take advantage of those on the tax side, or set up additional retirement benefits. So however this might apply for you, your business is an area of financial fitness. And so the exercise for this one is, do I want to start or grow a business in 2023? The answer is no. We'll move on to the next goal. But if it is, maybe this will get you thinking about how to make that happen in this given year. All right, your work. So for those of you that are retired, great, congratulations. Don't have to worry about this. But if you are still working, there's a lot of things that can change. It seems like benefit plans at work change every year. So we have new health insurance. We have a new supplemental retirement plan. We have a deferred compensation program. We have stock options, restricted stock. All of these things come along. And again, if we can plan for those, we can adjust and make sure you're making the most of it. Because a lot of these benefits I see in practice are highly underutilized. There are things that are going on at your workplace that you could really be taking advantage of. So the exercise for this one is to do a full benefits review. So if we're meeting this year and you have a benefits book, please bring it so we can pour through that, make sure that we are grabbing every penny from these company benefits that we can. All right, we are making good, healthy progress. I got to give Lisa complete credit for this little slide here. Why did the germ cross the microscope? To get to the other slide. So anyway, this is about your health. And this is looking to try and stay healthy in the new year. And when it comes to that, there's a lot of proactive work that we can do. But we also have to be thinking about our family. Is there a close family member perhaps that we're worried about some illnesses with? Are there big changes in our out-of-pocket healthcare costs? Has there been changes to our Medicare supplements? Do we need supplemental coverage? The biggest risk if you're still working is not the passing of your life, it's being disabled. And so how have you planned for that if you're not able to work or not able to do the same kind of work as you move forward? So these are important topics to consider when we're doing financial planning. All right, so around your health then, my exercise for you is to consider doing a consultation with a personal trainer. So I've worked with a few trainers over the years, a lot of our friends and clients have as well, and generally find the experience to be pretty rewarding, that you can learn about things that you should be trying, shifting up your exercise or health plan to get to where you're feeling better and feeling stronger, changing your diet a little bit, all of that. But I tell you what, I don't think there's much that's as important as when you want to look at really having a great return on life as your health. If you don't feel good, it's just really, really hard to worry about anything else. And so spend some time, reach out to a personal trainer, get a diagnosis, make sure you go see your doctor, and make this a great year in 2023 to improve your health. All right. Well, obviously, Matt, we're talking about money. So why would I worry about my financial fitness in the money area? That's what I have you for. Well, life has changed. The world has changed dramatically in the last year. This morning, I was speaking to someone. He explained to me how interest rates had changed on mortgages from 2.5 not long ago, maybe the middle part to early part of last year, to now 7% plus. So the market dynamics, the world of money has changed. When it comes to inflation, this is not something many of us have dealt with, especially in the near present term. And so what does that mean for me? What does higher inflation, higher interest rates mean for me? And this is an area that we'll be adjusting and discussing throughout the year. But there's also things like, what can I do to reduce my taxes? What does this new Social Security bump that I received last year mean? Does that impact then my Medicare payouts? Am I worried about my debt? Do I have debt that's adjustable that could come back to bite me now that's going to go from 2% to perhaps 7%? That's a dramatic change in your outflow. So examining all those debt rates, are they adjustable and when are they going to adjust and what can they adjust to? These are all things to help improve our financial fitness on the debt side or the money side for next year. So my challenge for you for this one is to consider and evaluate how much you spent and where in 2022. So the banking apps are the best place. Your TD Ameritrade statements can help too, but maybe taking just a little bit more of a deep dive, looking back into 2022 to see where your money went, and are there areas that you want to cut out? And even more importantly, are there areas you want to expand and do more of? So I know it takes a little bit of work, but the technology has made this so much easier to evaluate. So I encourage everybody, take a deep dive into what your spending looked like in 2022 and how you might want to adjust that this year. Okay, so our estate. The big question I ask everyone is, who do you want to get your money and when? And so for everyone, this has got a different connotation. And so for some of you, it's maybe giving some money away while you're still alive. But for many of you, it's just making sure our documents and plans are up to date, that we've done a full beneficiary review, that we know where our money's going to go. If we've had family changes, if money's going to be moving because of family dynamics or a new grandchild or whatever it may be, we need to be taking a look at how that's going to affect our estate. Because getting caught flat-footed on this, we're reading more and more stories of these superstars that pass away unexpectedly and just create a mess for their families. So being proactive here can really impact your legacy and can say, I really cared about how this happened. I spent time on this with my advisor, and I'm going to make sure that my family's taken care of, and the way the money that we've worked so hard for is not going to be overtaxed, and it's going to go to the places that I want it to. So for your exercise for your estate is to do an insurance review, because I'm seeing people that have lots of insurance policies that they just don't need anymore, or the policies that they have are not appropriate for their stage of life, or they're paying way too much for insurance that they don't need. And so we're going to do, as part of our review process with everyone this year, a full insurance review. So this is one that we can help you out with. But in the meantime, if you want to start gathering up policies, reaching out to your agents to see what is where, taking a look and updating your liability coverage, all of those kind of things are a great exercise to complete when it comes to this area. And then your retirement. So if you are retired, great. Let's make sure that your cash flow plan is intact, that we have everything maximized for when you need to be taking money out of your accounts and when you don't, that your, what I call your asset location, is appropriate, so that we're investing appropriately for each investment type that you've got, whether it's IRA, Roth IRA, or a taxable trust account. All of these different areas need to be examined, and they change. And Secure Act 2.0 threw a whole nother legislative change into this when it comes to when you have to take money out through your required minimum distributions. Lots of changes around Roths and some employee plans. And so it seems every year this is something that comes up. So even if you're already retired and you're on autopilot, it's a good chance to kind of examine, is this working? Is the way that I'm living my life working in retirement? If you're planning for retirement, if you're, let's say, under 50, under 60, all of a sudden your required distribution got moved out 3 more years. So we need to take a look at how that might impact you on the tax side. And so the exercise for this is for everyone to take a hard look at how we can build Roth into your plan, to Rotherize your plan, because that is one of the best tax advantages out there. It appears to me that the government loves Roths because they get their taxes now. And so however we can find ways to benefit that for you, using Roth 401k provisions at work, doing Roth conversions from your existing IRAs, all of these different areas that we might want to consider to take advantage of. Any growth that we have in these accounts is tax-free. So in a good market over a good period of time, it can be a huge benefit to you. So Rotherize, that's what we're going to look at for the retirement piece. And then your future. So there's lots of things that could come up that we don't know about. I know we're always kind of planning for this, that, and the other thing, but perhaps it's a bucket list like we've put on the slide here. Maybe there's a few things that you want to dust off. I found a book the other day, excuse me, I think it was called The Aladdin Factor. And inside of it, it had a worksheet of asking you 100 things that you wanted to accomplish in your life. And I had done this, and I'm guessing I was in my 30s as I looked through the list. And so I was both really encouraged because I'd done some of the things, and a little bit discouraged because I hadn't other things. And then a few things had changed. I really seemed to have wanted a Harley Davidson back then, and I don't think that my family's going to let me do that. So some of those things got to get crossed off. But as we're looking at our future, maybe there was something from many years ago that you thought, boy, I really wanted to accomplish this, or I really wanted to start a foundation or I really wanted to be able to mentor youth in my area, or I wanted to start a company that was able to give back. So whatever that may have been for you, let's throw that out there again. Let's dust that off. Let's put that onto our lifeline in our future of something that you want to get accomplished. And then we can figure out the back end financial matters that have to be adjusted to make that happen. So the exercise for this one then is to add a bucket list item for 2023. So whatever it might be for you that you've really wanted to do, that you've kind of forgot about, or you were planning to do maybe 5 years from now that you're like, what the heck, I'm going to do it this year. So let's all add a bucket list item for 2023. All right, so that is your financial fitness checkup, like going to the doctor and getting good news. Hopefully, for a lot of you, seeing this information makes you feel good about where you're at. The checklist has got some additional questions that you can ask around these matters and are able to examine these in just a little bit more of a fresh look. I find that a lot of times we get into the inertia of our financial matters and everything else and just kind of forget a few things that we want to be taking care of. So Prairie Fire will always be digging in and helping with these matters, but maybe there was something that we brushed off today that you hadn't been thinking about that you want us to take another look at. So that's really my hope. And so I do believe that we have, again, I mentioned that we've got the handout. So you've got the ability to pull this down. Again, we'll send it out if you can't find it. We also should have a chat area and a questions area. In the questions area, or the chat area, excuse me, I said that we are here to pump you up. Hans and Franz, for those of you that don't remember what that was. And then the question area. So if you have any questions, drop those in. I'll wait a few seconds here to see if anybody has anything that they want to discuss. All right, and so just so everybody knows, we will have a replay of this put together. We've been able to do these now and host them on YouTube. So we've got a YouTube channel up. There's not a lot on there yet, but I'm hoping over time we'll be able to add more and more content and informative information for everybody out there. In addition, if you haven't looked lately, we've done a full revamp of our website. And so I've been working hard on this just to make it more relevant to the work that we're doing now and be able to have a lot of content and information there as well for those that are looking to do, looking for financial planning, those kind of things, but also just give a lot of free information about the content areas and stuff that we work on. So thank you all today so much for joining. I always appreciate it. And if you have any questions as a follow-up to this, you know where to find me, matt@pfwplanning.com. And we're always here for you and hope that you have a great chilly Thursday. We'll talk to everybody soon. Thank you.